You know you right, my nigga. Gonna quit.
One of the best music stations. KeithandGessieRadio.com. KNR Radio. ICCC.
Playing all the hits. I love you still.
Stream your favorite music live.
What's up, guys? This is Justin Bieber.
Hey, this is Major Lazer.
I'm moving.
Stream your favorite music live. On KeithandGessieRadio.com for your uninterrupted broadcast. Stream your favorite music live.
And thank you for joining us here at Keith and Gessie Radio today. We are bringing
Stream your favorite music live.
to you.
Stream your favorite. No matter the weather, favorite music live. Join our online community on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram at Keith and Gessie Radio. The perfect dose of local and international sound.
Let's go! You know you right, my nigga. Ever gonna quit?
One of the best music stations. KeithandGessieRadio.com. KNR Radio. ICCC.
Playing all the hits. I love you still. Let's do it. What's up, guys? This is Justin Bieber.
Hey, this is Major Lazer.
I'm moving. Hello, hi, Kamalam, this is Povili, and thank you for joining us here at Keith and Gessie Radio.
Stream your favorite music live.
Hello, hi, Kamalam, this is Povili, and thank you for joining us here at Keith and Gessie Radio. We are bringing you radio according to you. Singena ngai ke bethu na usjava featuring uMakhadzi SCT Ingane Ainaqala. What an amazing song. We are taking over from Keith Besqalange Current Affairs with the ANC choral choir, and as promised, and
your favorite music
with Cwaita Mbambosi, where we will be talking about everything, all things radiography. So if ever you're chilling at home and you are thinking about what is it that I can do, or what is it that you're interested in, or if ever this is the field that you think you might be interested in, if ever you are at work and thinking of changing careers, and this is something that you are interested in, please do tune in only for an hour. And if ever you do have any questions or comments, please do send them to this number 066-137-2723, and the number is 066-137-2723. So Cela guest here to is introduce Unjani Chai. Please introduce yourself to Abapulapuli BK.
Good morning, good afternoon, listeners. I'm Cwaita Mbambosi Mthembu. I was born and raised in East London. I am a qualified radiographer. I've been practicing for 9 years in one of the East London hospitals. Above all, I'm a born-again Christian. And thank you, Z, for having me.
Thank you so much. So I do hope that you are listening and you are going to be engaging and commenting. You know, if ever you want to send anything kind, or either here at Keith and Gessie Radio, please do not hesitate. So, Kwa, you are a diagnostic radiographer, right?
Yes.
For someone that is chilling at home, for me, oh my goodness, this is my area of interest for obvious reasons. Those that know me, wow, I would actually have like an interest in this topic, and why I'm very much excited to be having this guest today. What does radiography mean? Like, what is radiography in layman terms to someone that is chilling at home? What is this radiography thing?
There's a confusion. There's a lot of confusion.
Always.
In the community. When you say, radiography, they will think that you're talking about radio. You are talking about anything to do with radio. But I'm here to tell you radiography is an imaging technique that is using X-rays in patient diagnosis. Like in simple terms, a radiography is like an imaging technique that is used anything that you cannot see with your naked eye. You use X-rays to diagnose that. That's where radiography come in your hospital setup. In popular, they call it case.
Yes. The patients.
Kusegezini. So if ufuna has anything about radiography, kusegezini, guys, kuse X-ray, whereby you diagnose anything that is inside a human body. That's what we do. We'll look for anything that is inside the human body. Let me make an example. If you have a fracture, you fractured one of your bones, yeah, we get to see that. We're not limited to that though. So we diagnose a lot of things like cancer, like anything that is inside.
Yes.
Yeah.
And at Cloud City, we are not limited to that. Uthetha nge-radiography, what are the other specialities that you can look for, like in radiography?
Okay. Radiography is very diverse. There's diagnostic radiography, there's ultrasonography, there's radiotherapy. Okay, what is radiotherapy? In radiotherapy, it's the division of radiography where the way they treat cancer. You'll be diagnosed by diagnostic radiography, and then you get referred to radiotherapy to be treated. So those are two departments in radiology that are communicating together, diagnostic and therapy. You diagnose a diagnostic and then you treat it with therapy. So, and also there's ultrasound, which is ultrasonography. People tend to think that ultrasound is to see babies only, but we do that. The ultrasonography, they get to see your babies, shout out to pregnant mommies, go to ultrasonographies, they will see your babies with the 3D scans and all those things. But also ultrasound, we diagnose like diseases such as DVT, and such as anything that is inside that requires
scrotum enlargement.
Yeah, scrotum enlargement. There's a lot of things that ultrasound can diagnose. And also, the
nuclear medicine.
There's nuclear medicine. There's nuclear medicine where they inject like radionuclides inside your human body. To treat whatever disease that you have.
I get you.
Yeah. And also, in diagnostic radiographer, also you have other division in diagnostic radiographers, like the CT scan.
Yes.
There's MRI, there's new intervention now, which is MRI, which is so nice and glamorous that we have now. Yeah, we have CT scans where, let me make an example, a patient will be in a car accident, have the brain problems or whatever in the skull, then they send to a CT scan to scan the brain to see if there's anything wrong to their brain or whatever. And also there's the MRI. It depends which modality is of choice that time. Is it MRI or CT scan? Yeah.
Okay, but kuyadura ke egesini, ziyadura ke ezi CT scans ne MRI athetha ngazo usisithwaye apha. But anyways, we are not there today. I want to check, because mainly today we're going to be talking about diagnostic radiography, which is the area that you're in, right? Yes. So with this radiography, othetha ngayo umntu okhulele apha, right? You grew up here. Is this something that you've always wanted to do, or this is something that you thought uba mhlambe xa ufika ku-matric ukhethe career choices and awukhethele igama limnandi? What was it that actually pushed you to that space?
Okay. When I was in matric, when I was growing up, we all think I'm gonna be a doctor. I wanted to be a doctor. I wanted to be a lot of things. There was a lot of confusion. So when I was in matric, my principal was married to a radiographer.
Of course.
So he introduced us to this radiography thing. It was so interesting and profound. We thought, this thing, we thought it's radio, but he introduced this thing to us, like there's x-rays and everything. So I went to do a little bit of a research about this thing. And when I found out, I thought the space is like, it doesn't have Black people.
Of course.
So I forgot about that. I went to do something else. But later in life, I went back to my radiography. I went to Frey. I did some shadowing. I was welcomed by Mrs. Ru. Shout out to Mrs. Ru, my clinical tutor.
Boo, 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 boo.
And Sis Zingi Samangabane, they gave me such a warm welcome. So I shadowed there. Then I thought, this is what I want to do. So I applied. Then I became a radiographer.
Which is nice. We are very happy and glad to actually hear your story or your journey to actually get into that space. So now you actually apply, right, for a radiography and you get accepted into like varsity. Which varsity did you go to?
I went to NMMU, which is known as NMU now.
Yes.
Yes, I went to NMMU. I obtained my honors degree there. So I did my diploma, then I went to do my BTech, which is equivalent to honors degree at NMMU.
Okay. Oh, that is actually nice. And now you are already in that space. I want to talk about the challenges. First of all, I want to ask you the requirements for someone that is actually or someone that is in matric and they want to apply to this field, right? What are the requirements that you need to obtain to actually be considered to actually train into that field? And what are the challenges that you face as a student?
Okay, let me start with requirements. They're looking for maths and physics and life sciences. They would say it's 50% for maths, 50% for physics, 50% for life science. But I would advise anyone who would go into radiography, you must know your physics.
Of course.
Radiography is all about physics. You must know your physics and you must be a hard worker because it's not easy there. So if they will say to you 50% for maths, 50% for physics, and 50% for life sciences, I would say aim for 70s because they only take 26 students in the Eastern Cape. In the Eastern Cape, we only have one varsity that offer a radiography like NMMU. So there's only one university. Already that is a challenge. And they looking for 50%. So you must know you must aim high because they will only take 26 students only. And you must know your physics, girl. Know your physics. Otherwise you will fall short. Radiography is all about physics. Know your physics. That's all I would say to someone that is looking to be a radiographer. If you happen to fall short, the ABS score, the ABS score for radiography is 31. So if you happen to fall short in that 31, please do consider CPUT because they take I know their requirements are far less than NMMU because NMMU is using international radiography, so their bar is very high. So if you do fall short in your matric and you want to do a radiographer, please check CPUT. CPUT, maybe they'll accommodate you, but I know their requirements are a little bit lower than other universities. So in radiography, you can apply for radiography in Limpopo, University of Pretoria, UJ. There's radiography in DUT. There's a radiography in CPUT. There's a radiography in UCT. There's a radiography in UWC. In the Eastern Cape, there's only one university, which is NMU. So Forte, if you're listening, Wusu, if you're listening, those HOD in the healthcare sciences, please do something for our East London children. They do want to go to varsity as well. Yes. Come to think of 26 only.
Exactly.
To the Eastern Cape, 26 only. If Forte and Wusu can just come up with something, there are good radiographers who can lecture there. Plus, if you're listening, do take note of that. Okay, let's go to the second question. Z, you said, what are the
challenges that you face as a student?
As a student radiographer. Remember, in radiographer, there's this big thing. In radiography, you don't get to go home when other universities students are going home. You're going to work. So I find it a bit challenging to balance my theory and my practicals. So you must have that balance. I find it very challenging to balance my theory and practical. Remember, you leave school and the following day you must resume duty at any hospital that you're assigned to. So it's a little bit, there's no relax. In the process, the assignments, they need to be done. So you need to find balance. It's just a little bit of a challenge there. And you're coming from school, then you're going to the hospital to practice what you have learned. Now you are practicing to the actual patient. Whatever that you learn in Tomioto, because you learn whatever you learn at varsity, now you're practicing to the patient. And then you go in with the staff radiography following you around. That's a little bit challenging. And also it's very intimidating.
I can imagine.
You go to the room with this patient, we are tatazela, and the patient can see that we are tatazela. Then you go x-ray this patient, you don't know what you're doing, if it's right or wrong. That's a little bit of a challenge. So you need to get yourself there. That was another challenge that I had when I was a student. I had a chat with one of my colleagues. She said when she was a student, she had this patient who was a Stafford Ray. So she did an ankle on this patient, and then she repeated again because something was just not right. We repeat. So she repeated, and that woman shouted her, and that bruised her ego. Because she was just learning.
She was just a student.
She was just learning. And another thing that is challenging is, oh my God, the practicals where you're being followed around with the clipboard. Could you get this patient?
So what are the practicals? What are they doing exactly? Why is it that they're following you around with a clipboard?
Okay. In radiography, you get to be assessed practically.
Mm-hmm.
You get to be assessed. You write your exams, but you get to be assessed practically to the actual patient. So they will pick up a patient for you. The assessor, whoever is going to assess you,
Okay.
going to pick up a patient for you, and you must do everything according to the book. You must read the patient history to them, and then you pick up. Sometimes you pick up. I remember when I was doing my 3rd year, I was being assessed, and my patient was just not doing it. And the person that was assessing me wanted me to communicate. I'm trying to communicate with the patient. The patient I call Glono too. I see whether I can take him. I'm like,
Kaloku umuntu usesibhedlela ufuna uncedwa as in like, can you please work on time?
Communicate and get the information. That was also a little bit challenging because I'm being assessed on communication here, and this person doesn't want to communicate with me.
Mm-hmm.
So, but lucky enough for me, the assessor did see that it's very intimidating to be followed around with clipboard, even if you know what you are doing.
Exactly.
Being followed. And another challenging with the guys, they don't want to undress in front of us.
Mm-hmm.
So when you're doing like and the fluoroscopy, when you're gonna do this urethrogram,
Yes.
so another guy refused to take off his pants for me. Because he was young like me. So he looked at me and said, I'm not going to take off my pants
in front
of you. So we have to be excused. But that time I was there to learn. So those are the challenges, and we need to respect the patient. I was there to learn. I had to leave. I have to leave the room because the patient was not comfortable with this young child that was trying to do whatever to them.
Yes.
And another challenge, a big challenge, is language barrier.
Of course.
So I'm going to make an example. You meet this person. This person cannot speak English. They can only speak Afrikaans.
Mm-hmm.
So you're trying to communicate with them, and they are speaking their Afrikaans. You are trying to speak your English. And then and the patient is starting being frustrated. And so the language barrier, there's a huge gap there. There's a language barrier, not to our people only, but also to other races.
As well.
Like I said, like there's
Swanas, Bedis.
Yeah. Like now we have a lot of foreigners around. So they will come, maybe they're coming from Zimbabwe. They can't speak English. They can't speak anything. All they know is their own language. So I have to learn Shona from the patient. I had to learn Shona from the patient. Moreni, I've learned for the patient. Kumula, Fema, Mupefumulo, like breathe in. I've learned for the patient because it gets frustrating for everyone because I want to help you. And
you cannot help if ever you guys are not understanding each other.
You see, we're not understanding each other. So I took it upon myself to learn. To learn this African like Shona is easy to learn. I have to learn Shona to accommodate my Shona patients. So other patients, you do sign language like
I know.
Because you're trying to help the patient. So the language barrier is a big thing in the health sector right now. Even outside radiography now, like in the hospital, you feel like they have this doctor who's this race and the patient who's this race. They don't understand each other, and the patient will end up not being helped properly.
The way that they want to.
Yeah, like properly, because there's a language barrier. I don't know if government can just, I don't know what can be done, but something gotta be done because it can't like good language.
I mean, even though they say that like English is the universal language, but we do understand, or other people don't, know the language as such. So, andazi ke mhlawumbe it is we have to take it upon ourselves sibone uba communicate kanjani at the end of the day, because the message has to be conveyed. Do you understand? So yeah, thank you so much. Uyasixelela ke uChwayi uba with radiography you do face a lot of challenges, but I think even though you are working and studying as a student, it does get you, it preps you for the working environment, which is the other thing that we're going to be talking about now. right? You get into the work environment, you're like, I know what I'm doing. I've been doing this from first year. Do you know what I mean? So we figure with that, oozing confidence, which is like the best thing for anyone that is actually getting into the work sector. So now you actually get to your work sector, right? Usebenze, which hospitals are you practicing, or which hospital do you practice at, and which the one that you're practicing at currently?
Okay, I'm currently at Dangen Village Hospital.
Mm-hmm.
I got to Dangen Village Hospital this year. I practiced at Mbambosi like for 8 years, but I come serve at Dangen Village in 2015. So I practiced at Mbambosi for 8 years, then went back to Dangen Village Hospital. Working at the CHC level, coming from Frey.
Of course.
Coming from Frey, there's nothing you cannot face in this world when you're coming from Frey Hospital. Because at Frey, I've seen it all. I've seen it all.
I can attest to that. I can attest to that.
So when you go to this CHC, you just also, like you're saying, your student lives and all those challenges are prepping you to be. You know what? I've discovered that I'm very patient with radiography in the journey of as I'm journeying in radiography. I've discovered that I'm a patient person. There are things that I've discovered about myself because you will get to see the patients that are. I'm going to take you back to the challenges. I'm going to take you back quickly for this patients. You'll see you get a patient that is so angry, getting inside the room. Hi, Sisi Unjani. Angry. You get to understand now with the experience that you got as a student, you got to understand that I'm not the problem.
Exactly.
She's angry. She's not angry at me. She's angry at the situation she's at right now. Like I got a 29-year-old who was previously MVA and now she's paraplegic. She got to my room shouting, very angry. And because I'm an experienced radiographer, I looked at her and I hugged her and asked, what's wrong? As we conversed, I found out this woman is angry at the situation. She's angry now that she's in a wheelchair. She's angry because things are not going
the way that she
way
wanted.
they should be. Yeah, now at 29, Ebes Bona a accountant, wheelchair bound. So those are the things those challenges that you get when you're a student, then they prepare you. So you get to know that even though the patients are rude, they are going through a lot. So you need to just
be kind.
Just be kind. Just be kind. What I've learned in radiography is to love one another. Like, radiography is just a small community.
Of course.
Sibaninzi is radiographers, but siyazana sonke. You can go to borders of Lusikisiki, whatever. I would know who's working there. We love each other. That's what I've learned in radiography. I've learned love. I've learned unity. And also it grows character to someone working with people like that. And also working to the environment that I'm working at right now, like underprivileged environment. There's a lot going on there. So it exposes you to other people's lives. Like you understand their socioeconomic status and what does it affect them physically. How does it the effect of that in their health, because you'll find out they're staying in one shack. So if one has TB, the entire family, or it's easy to spread whatever because of the socioeconomic status. Yes. So working in those CHC like Dangen Village and then Mpilweni, Gombo, exposed me to a lot of things, and I'm grateful that I got to work there because ndibazile abanye abantu babaphila njani. Uyababona i-community yona i-rough njeya, so you can't just you won't be sure about anything there. Anything can happen at any time. But you got to learn about other side of life that you would never learn. I would never learn about that. So yeah, working at CAC level is chilled, good, and also it helps a lot. It helps a lot building character, because so you learn to be tough, you learn to be strong for yourself. Yeah.
Siyamva ke baphulaphuli be-KNR uCwaita esixelela about the challenges that they are facing kwizibhedlele zabo. And I mean, you do get, it actually puts you into an emotional state.
Yes.
Xa ungumntu osebenza kwa-health nyhani iba khona into ethi, ethikayo when you actually see certain people going through certain things or people experiencing certain things. I mean, someone that walks in at the hospital as an MVA and then they find out about they are going to be like wheelchair bound for the rest of their life. I mean, the only thing that you can do at that point is to spread kindness. That is why it is always important, and we preach this every day. About you will always have to be kind to other people because you don't know, you have no idea of the kind of situation or challenges that they are facing. So getting back to that, now Ustalelo Uba, you are actually working at a CHC and you were at Frey as a student, which was actually like crazy. And you got all the training, which is actually now put you to a position that you are, and also you're able to deal with certain patients, or actually all patients from all kind of lives, right? So now, the other question that I want to check, why, because I mean, siyazazi basebenza ku-government onjani, right? This is South Africa. We are still, we are a developing country and we are far behind with certain things. We need as the government is not providing. There's always challenges. You're fighting with patients because mama, I don't have ABCD. What are the challenges that are you guys facing with your work and your stream of practice?
Okay. The X-ray machine always break all the time because the machines are old. So you would say to the patients, they will come in. That's a big challenge that we're facing all the time. The break-ins, the X-ray machine, they break all the time. But I would say government is doing a great thing now because they're installing new machines. We are hoping to get a new one as well. So we're facing a challenge. The X-ray machine break all the time, and the patients will come to you and say, but you will say to the patient, okay, Tuesday, the technician will come and discover something else to the machine. Those patients that you book them for Tuesday, they will come to you very angry, saying that, but you said Tuesday.
On Tuesday.
Ndithi, Mama, bengicinga kuzaba njalo, but funeka ube uthethe story upon stories to the patient. But you can take mhlambe details to call them later on. Some of them doesn't have phones. So the challenges that we're facing right now is break-ins of the machines. They're more like procurement challenges. Some of the challenges that we're facing, okay, the machine is working now. Now the films are not there. There's no enough budget to buy the X-ray films for us to archive the proper way. So we'll have a issue to refer now with X-rays and everything. So it's those challenges. Also being overworked. The community that we work, the hospital that we work at, sisevisa zonke i-rural areas zalapha eMonti, like uJolomnqa lonke iJolomnqa yonke Nceha, ujike uze ngapha komaKweleja, all the clinics, they coming to us. So we are overworked, and the
problem of the issue here, overworking, it actually wonke umntu oku health experiences this, and this is one thing that they always complain about. We are still crying and complaining about a lack of employment or job employment. Abantu, people are sitting at home with degrees and they don't know what to do with them because akuqashwa. This is crazy. And now we are going to be going to like the comments that we're actually getting. Untutu Konduza, Bulisa Cwaita, and he is sending heart. What is this, like a star emoji? Thank you so much. Sinaya Notandi Yangama, Ebulisa na Epayana, Ujabulani Tungo. This is one of my friends. Oh my goodness, he is in Dubai. He is in Dubai currently. Actually, not in Saudi Arabia. I'm sorry. And then Untutu Konayo Uyachoba. This is actually like great insight, and they are learning a lot from the show. So also we did say that if ever you are you haven't been missing out, please do tune in. We still have a few minutes to go. Send a comment or just send a question on 066 137 2723. Please do send your comments and questions on 066 137 2723. I am learning a lot from the radiographer today, and we are having like a great conversation. So, Cwaita, with everything that you've mentioned, the challenges that you face as a student, the challenges that you face at work, for someone that is actually sitting at home now, now with everything that you've said today, I do want to become a radiographer. What is it that is actually the most important thing that they have to consider before getting into the field?
Okay. Thank you, Zee. I would also encourage people to be radiographers. I like my profession. I love being a radiographer. It's one of those things. I always think that, oh, thank you, Lord, I'm operating in my purpose because I love this. I don't see myself without patience. Really, the drama and everything.
It gets to you, hey.
The drama they come with, and also the advices the patient they give it to you, and other places that I didn't know there's a corner baseline and much. You told me go to this place, go to this place. I would say to someone who's at home who wanna be a radiographer, work hard in matric. Like I said before, they only take 26 students. In the Eastern Cape, if one is studying in Eastern Cape. In other universities, they also take like limited numbers. And APS score of 31 is not little. The one APS score of 31, you need to work. I would say to all the students that want to go to varsity, work hard in your grade 11. Don't forget to work hard in your grade 11 because they will want your grade 11. You will use your grade 11 report to apply, and they will assess you according to that report. So work hard in your grade 11. And also, if you don't like physics, I don't know why you want to do radiography. Because radiography, you're going to do physics. Please, if you want to be a radiographer, just do your physics. Even if you know a little bit of maths, but physics. Because at a later stage of radiography, you will do statistics. So maths will come in then.
Of course.
When you do your postgrad. But I would say just work hard in your grades. And also know you're not going to be rich, but you will definitely have a comfortable life. And also you will be employed. Definitely you will be employed because there is employment for radiography. And you will have fun. One thing, you will have fun. I had fun when I was a student. I would want to be a student again. You will have fun, man. Just study. We want more people that want to be radiographers. Just come, be one of us. You will experience love. We will love you. Just work hard in your grade 11. That's all. Work hard. Everyone that is listening, that is in high school, work hard in your grade 11. Don't worry about the 50% university. Okay, it's 50%. The competition is very high. Get that 80 if you can, so that you can secure yourself a spot in the university. So work hard, guys. Education is the only thing that you can control. In all these things that we cannot control in this life, but education is just one of the things that you can control. And also in radiography, Z, can I add that if we have time? In radiography, you don't have to be employed. You don't have to be employed by anyone. You can buy yourself a machine and
have your own practice.
And have your own practice and work. How nice is that? You can retire and just have your own practice, or you can just do COM7 and go have your own practice. So you don't have to be employed in this
in the government sector if you don't feel like.
So you don't have to be employed. You can buy yourself a machine, get your practice number. You are allowed to practice. And you will definitely make money. There's nothing cheap at X-ray department, like Zizipo said before. So you get yourself ugesi, Thank you.
Okay, Baphulaphula KNR, we are bringing you radio according to you. Namhlanje ayishishizi bendinixeleke ndathi hlalani nam ndihlale nani. It was an hour, but ngoku ixesha liqhathwe yinja. Yes, uCwaita usixelela about all the things that we have to do, and at Theta City we need to actually work hard on those grade 11 marks, because that is what you use to actually apply at varsity, just to secure your spot. Ungabusilwa nabantu when you have to get there. So sinaye uMaguzu Zitumane apha esithi, where is the degree done? Ebechazile ke uCwaita esixelela uba it is actually done at NMU, which is Nelson Mandela University. There's UCT, there's UP, there's UL, and there's which other ones, Twai?
There's like CPUT, Limpopo, UCT, UWC, DUT, UP, UJ, and which one did I not mention? And also in matric, you must have a B.
Yes.
You must have
a
bachelor's degree. So you must have a bachelor's degree and apply to all the universities. Just shoot your shot. You don't know who's gonna, I don't know. And I'm here to bear bad news.
What's wrong? What is wrong? We are all ears.
Don't provide funding anymore. Department of Health does not provide funding for radiography anymore.
Mhm.
So yeah.
But there
they
is
apply for
NSFAS these days, right? So
NSFAS.
people do apply for NSFAS, for
Mm.
CETA, and all those things for funding,
Yes.
right? But also, if ever this is a field that you're actually interested in, you can take on student loans. I think they also do have that. Or maybe just speak to whichever university that you've applied at. I'm sure they can help you with funding. Uba benza njani bona kanye kanye with other students that do apply but don't have the means. Okay. So this is a very great show today. And ixesha ngoku, it is 1:45. And sidibana naye pha uNtombomzi Molese esithi we are listening twice. So you do have a lot of people that are actually rooting for you today. So Cwaita, I just want to check because we've already mentioned about everything radiography. Is there anything else that you want to add that Abantu should be on the lookout for, or anything on your side? Are you only a radiographer, or have you also like ventured into these business spaces?
I did. I'm passionate about radiography, of course. But I did venture into business. I recently opened a daycare in Cambridge. The name is Bright Minds Daycare. The vision of that daycare is to help single mothers. So if you know, to the school level, there's this thing, subsidy for people who cannot afford the fees, but there's no one who's advocating for them at the daycare level. So I saw a gap there. Then that's where Bright Minds Daycare was born. It's not only for single mothers, but it cater for them because the fees are low. We're charging 1,400 for full day and 900 rands for half day. So the meals are provided there, nutritional meals are provided in that price. If you look at that price, it's half the price of other daycares. That's not a mistake. It's also to help the single mothers that cannot afford. Someone that say, I want to go to work, but I have nowhere to take my child.
Yes.
So we are at Cambridge at number 26, King Edward Road. If you're looking for a daycare for your child, we are there with our staff that is so nice and friendly. They are there to welcome your child. Of course, I am a CEO, not running the daycare. The daycare is being run by Kathleen and Cindy. They're our educators. So we only take kids from 12 months up to 4 years. So we believe when the child is 5, they must go to big school. Because in East London, we have a big challenge, a big problem of schools. There's few schools, and also abantwana bathathu when they go to grade 1. Reason being, abantwana sibasi early to be groomed by those schools. So that's why our daycare only take up to 4 years. But we have our feeding school, which is 2 steps away, 2 houses away from our daycare, which is Oregon. Like it's a homeschooling. So they do take the kids from us. But I always advocate for the kids to go to the big school at grade RR so that they can feed to their grade R. Imagine taking your child to the play school for long. Now they have to go to the big school. Now they will have to fit in kula gap yoba big school inok RR wayo zabafaka, and then umntana wakho uzabayela 2% that they will take. That's why we have that problem. So that's why I said, okay, we need to go up until 4 years so that they can go to big school. We have boys that are going to Selborne coming from Bright Minds Daycare. We also have girls that are going to Clarendon next year. They are coming from Bright Minds Daycare. They're going to start their grade RR next year. They're 5 years. So we are excited. If you're in East London, please do hit us. We are on Facebook at Bright Minds Daycare. And also, you can send us a WhatsApp on 078-311-8698. But if you know the Cambridge, it's behind the police station. It's number 26, King Edward Road. So yeah, you can take your child there. So your child will be well taken care of by this healthcare work.
Dude, yay. Sinayo apa Jack of all trades sana sibhizi ngapha esibhedlele, and we're also dealing with daycare centers. But that is actually what we actually opt to do these days, where umdu esbona, like you can't be looking at the one stream of the income. They always say that. So thank you so much, Try, for actually joining us today. And you did mention the social media platforms, abantu banganifumana kuzo. Is it just like Facebook and the WhatsApp number? And if you can just repeat the number for us as well, so that I just can take it down. baphulaphuli be-KNR sizawunishiya ke ngoku noSphoki noLester besithi stay real, and igama lam ndinguzipho Vili besendinixelele, and the name of the show is Champion Mindset with Dr. Vili. I will be bringing you all things health, right? So simani sihamba nayo kancinci. Last week we did have a sports scientist, and this week we do have a radiographer. So you must tune in for the next couple of weeks. I am going to be bringing you a lot of insightful and educational shows. So please do tune in with us. Why did you get that number that I was looking for?
Yes, they can send us a WhatsApp on 065
065
959
959
5586.
5586. And the Facebook?
It's Bright Minds Daycare.
Yes.
Yeah. On Facebook.
Okay, give it to nguye uCwaita Mbambosi lowo esixelela about all things radiography and the daycare center that she's currently operating. She has someone that is actually running the daycare center. If you can send them a WhatsApp on 065 959 and 5586. That's where you're going to get them. And the name of the daycare center, it is Bright Minds Daycare Center. Thank you so much for coming through, Cwaita. Namhlanje we did discuss about everything radiography, and I do think uba siyasaphendula yonke imibuzo that was actually there ibisendwa ngabantu like quick comments, and we did attend to everyone that was actually like sending the questions as well. So now we are about to end the show, and you've already said everything that you wanted to say. So I do want to say that uCwaita did make an appeal to the government. Uba, we only have one university here in Eastern Cape, which is Nelson Mandela University, that is has a radiography. So effort asinayo, ewusu asinayo. It would be actually very nice to have it. Ewusu must not get any pressure because they have a medical school here, so they can't have nursing and MPCHB and not have a radiography. So yeah, thank you so much. Uthandi Gama, Yengama uyabulisa naye phayana nontombomzi molose, which is now sending heart emojis. We are listening to that is actually very nice. So ixesha ngoku, it is actually 10 to. We are about to close the show, and mna ndigqibile ngoku whatever it is that we had brought you guys. I hope ugoduka nomphako and has everything that they actually had everything that they wanted to hear from the show today. Sisebacha ke bethuna apha, so you have to be with us. I will keep saying this to you until I am perfect at what I do. So yeah. Cwaita, as our patients is in zithini phaya negombo.
Who say that?
I'm joking. Oh my goodness, we are done for the day. Thank you so much. I'm gonna be leaving you guys with Lester noSphoki besithi stay real. So mna igama lam ndinguzipho Vili, and we are a Champion Mindset. Silapha eKNR, we are bringing you radio according to you. We are done. Thank you so much, Troy, for coming. I really appreciate this. Just taking time out of your Sunday just to spend an hour with us. We really do appreciate that.
Thank you for having me, Z. Thank you for having me. I had a great time, and yeah.
And I hope nabaphulaphuli bethu bavile. So if ever you wanna be in radiography, if ever you wanna consider this career path, kulo nyaka uzayo, it can be hectic because you are obviously going to be obliged to be a student as well as umsebenzi. By that, ke sithetha ngoba uzawusenza i-practicals zakho, but you must be, prepared for it. It also is a good thing, as we said, because it prepares you mentally. And yes, you do face a lot of challenges, but then uphuma ungumntu that is actually very confident in facing the world and dealing with any challenges. Mna ke, as I've said, umsebenzi wami ndiwugqibile namhlanje. And have a great week, guys. Have a great week. Ngomso Monday, people must actually take on those challenges. If ever you want to, take on those opportunities, do that. If you want to be kind to somebody tomorrow, do that. If you feel like you are not in a good space, pray about it. Stay humble. And as we have said, that abantu are facing a lot of challenges. So you don't know what the person is also is facing. So you have to be kind at all times. And you must enjoy. Bye.
Stream your favorite music live.
50 Cent.